Don't forget to call.
That's
order.
you as of a half
Yeah,
hour.
I know. This is a new paper. Okay, let's call the work session to order. Thank you, Harold, for reminding me. Let's see what we have here. Just going through the additional documents to make sure everybody has one. The first one I have here is a letter dated April 16th of this year about the dog grooming from Mr. David Brown. Everybody have that? Okay, many pages. Second one I have here is a letter dated April 15th. I got this via email, I think, from Mr. and Mrs. Lyles, also of Michelli Way, right? Everybody have that?
Yep.
And then the Andrea Pilato, to my future neighbors.
This is
The one he sent, the owner.
Undated letter, but stamped April 15th from the, how do you pronounce the last name, Harold?
Schlegel.
I don't have them in front of me.
Schlegel, right?
Oh, no Schlegel. Yeah.
On the
Used to be
conservation board?
board.
Chairman.
Okay.
I know how to
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
And then April 9th, 2015, also about Creek Street, from Kenneth and Harriet Bliss.
Got that?
Applicant have all these that we know?
I can't 100% verify, but we were emailing them to him, and we had that one email that came late at 5:30 dealing with the deed restrictions, and I hand-delivered to Bob Keiffer.
It came today at 5:30?
Yes.
Oh, so we have that.
This is what we just got, yes. The
Yeah.
That's,
yeah. And then we have the, what is it, the board resolution on the India Community Center. Okay, everybody have all those?
Yep.
Okay, so let's go to tonight's material. First thing that comes up on this is a reminder for me to take my diabetes medicine.
Do that?
Let's go on to the next item.
He needed the reminder.
So, number one.
This is,
No, go ahead. I'm listening. Anybody have any, I'm familiar with them. Anybody have any clarification?
number one.
Yeah,
Number one, questions or clarification on this?
just,
You're gonna ask Harold? Yeah.
sure. The application, on the application, it says he meets 4 feet or is seeking 4 feet. I will need an extra 4 feet to complete the garage addition.
Right on the front.
And
it says
his
2.
drawing shows
Yeah,
that
his
he's
drawing shows
7.4.
7.4.
Right.
or
So that's
up to
2.6.
Right.
So what can we
just
give
ask
him?
him, I guess.
2'6" or 4 foot?
I think it's a good question to ask him what he needs. I mean, he scaled this out to a, was it 14?
14 foot, I think is what it was.
Right, 14-foot width. So, you know, I don't know if he's intending.
Well, wait a minute, if it's 14 foot, then he needs, yeah, okay, 4 foot, sorry, yeah. Okay, yeah, because he's gotta be back 10 foot.
Right.
Okay. That's a good question, your first question.
Or one of the first.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions on that one?
Or from the foundation, right, it's from the eaves?
From the exterior wall.
Okay, no,
Because if it was a cantilevered environment, which you're not going to see in the garage, but like the house,
yeah.
they
Be
measure
from
from
the-
the exterior wall, not from the eave
Okay.
or overhangs.
Any other questions on one for clarification?
Nope.
All right. Number two.
Yeah, Harold.
If I can,
Yeah, go
Of course you can.
we may
Hi,
have,
Bob.
I understand that it's not public input, but in this instance, I'd like to tell you that it's come to our attention that the subject property may be encumbered by a declaration of covenants, restrictions, and conditions that would have a negative impact on our request to be able to operate a grooming business from that location. And we would like to request that this application be withdrawn from the agenda tonight and rescheduled for the next meeting, in which time we will be able to deal with our attorneys and with the town attorney to have a decision on whether or not this restriction does in fact apply to the subject lot.
Fine. You're withdrawing. You want to just table it for that purpose?
But before we go on, I think we probably should have the applicant of record make that request, because he really hasn't, did he authorize you to be his
I do not have a
representative?
letter of authorization from the
So
applicant.
just to make sure that we do it
Anthony
procedurally
DeLaus.
right.
In reference to Bob Keiffer's suggestion, I think that would be appropriate for us to do at the present time.
Okay, you use the word withdrawal. The only reason I don't want you to have to go through the process of filing twice and paying twice.
We do not want to file twice and pay again. What we'd like to do, though, is postpone the public hearing until the next meeting.
All right, so we'll table it at your request.
Thank you.
We'll adjourn it, because we haven't had a public hearing yet.
What's the proper word there, Pete? Is it adjourn or
I
is
think
it
adjourn
table?
would be appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah, because we
We're
can't
adjourning
make a
the
decision
hearing.
quite yet.
Well, we haven't opened it yet.
Right.
Right.
See you next month. How about
Yeah,
that?
he's not going far, he's staying anyways, because he's representing the next
So,
application.
any folks here for number 2? I don't know if you heard that or not, but
1617 Creek Street.
not going to be heard tonight. It's going to be on for next week if you're here. Or, excuse me,
Next
next
month.
month.
Next
Do we know the date, Allison?
I don't have my calendar.
I tell you.
Yeah, it sounds about that date.
Okay.
Are you here for that? Okay,
Okay, new people that came in, are you here for
yes.
application 2?
I know he is, yeah, I can,
Okay.
you want me to go up there? real
Tell,
quick?
yeah, go
Sure.
tell them. Because
got the
even though we're
21st.
tabling it, I have a question that I'd like explained by Pete.
And Dan, I gotta recuse myself on this one.
Number
The
2?
seller, yeah, I've known the seller, I've represented the seller before.
Okay.
Maybe just talk
Pete,
about
what,
this.
that monument thing, give me an explanation of it there. On
monument.
number 2, we got something from the county, okay,
Okay.
about a monument. Okay, yeah, she'll show
From
you.
county planning?
I assume it was like a survey monument.
Yeah,
Remind me for locating.
yeah, I understand that, but I guess my point is, if they have one, they can't touch it. If they don't have one, do they need one?
I don't know, let me look. Let me look at
Okay, yeah,
this.
because it'll be for next meeting, so
Yeah.
that's just my question, because I didn't know,
Yeah, it was tough
what
to
they're
tell what that
saying.
really left it at. You kind of read through it and you said, okay.
Yeah, what is that?
What does
All
that
right,
mean?
let me look, I'll
It
look
says they
at it
don't
and
have
we'll
any
find out
comments.
next.
Right, it basically said that
They said, we do
But
not have any
but they
comment.
did talk about,
they did specify
The
a couple
marker.
things, yeah.
and I'm going, so anyway, okay, Pete, that sounds
Yeah.
good. Next meeting, you
Okay.
can get an
But why
explanation.
did they say, so they said they had no comments, but then they have.
Yeah, but
But then they had a few comments down below.
I think there's probably a difference between a comment and an observation, like there's a difference between tabling and adjourning.
Just not sure
Right.
which.
But
Number
you
3.
know.
Any questions or clarification on that?
No, nice walk up the hill. At least I had a nice
Oh,
walk
that's
up the
right.
hill.
Take a drive up there, I go in there.
Yeah.
So all of these, what we'll do is we'll put them here and then you can put them in the folder next month.
Okay. And the last one is, I forgot what we did with it.
Well,
Table it with
we
no
asked for it to
date.
be continued tabled. I have had some information presented. to
Weather's
me that
nicer.
Yeah, the weather's nicer, and Allison got a call that, from a neighbor that there is a piece of equipment on the property. Whether it's being used for digging holes for perk tests, I don't know, but
Tractor's been sitting there for
has it?
months. Now he's got a dump truck there too.
But I would expect very soon they should be able to get on that property and dig some holes for perk tests and then go further from there.
Okay, that one, again, I wasn't here for that, but I will watch it on TV.
Okay.
I'll go downstairs, I'll visit the site, and then I'll be caught up to date, okay?
There may be a way that you can do it on the website.
You can watch it on the internet, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, just go to, was it last month's meeting?
They're all on YouTube or.
No, that would have been
It's either on Vimeo or
January
PCTV.
or February.
That's the one.
I'll tell you.
It was actually a while ago.
I'll send you a
Yeah.
link to it. I'll email you the link, it'll be done.
Sometimes,
We'll,
yeah.
we'll,
You know what,
we'll
Joe?
get you there.
If you have a problem, call Allison. If Allison can't help you with it, we'll send you downstairs to the cable TV people.
Okay.
They'll send you through the...
Sounds good.
Yeah, and there's no reason that you have to come here unless you want to
Right.
visit us.
Okay.
To answer your question about this, so I would, so it's, you know, they talk about monumentation. Just if you were going to grant an approval for that, you would make these conditions that they, you know, comply with these requirements, you know, the monumentation. If there's a
I guess my
monument,
question is, what is the requirement? Are they asking to have them have a monument?
if they're going to be, so there must, if there's some type of a monumentation, if there's some type of a survey monument, they want a security deposit. So they would know, they would have to know, their survey would.
Okay.
If I can, we have an individual who's somewhat of an expert in these areas, and Bob Keiffer, who's also related to the application. Maybe he can give us an idea of what, you're familiar, we sent over that.
Yes, that's a standard comment that comes from the County of Monroe. For any work that's going to be done within the Monroe County right-of-way, they want to make sure that their survey control, their monuments are protected. So even if you're not going to work near it, you would put up a security deposit so that if it got disrupted in any way, the county wouldn't have to pay to have it fixed.
Okay.
In this instance, in the ICC application, we're hundreds of feet from the right-of-way, and there will be no work, zero, none, nada work within the right-of-way of the County of Monroe.
No, right.
Right.
So, but
the
the bottom line is, do you need to put the deposit down?
We do not. We're not going to
No,
draw
this
permit
is
from the
not
County of
related
Monroe.
to the Monroe County Line Road application. This is with regards to the Creek Street application.
Same situation.
Right.
If you're going to do any work within the right-of-way, you'd have to get a highway work permit from the county, and if there were monuments in the area, you'd have to put up a security deposit.
Okay.
But so you certainly wouldn't object to a condition on any application that said you'll comply if required?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
He's, you know, he's gonna send a bill now for his consulting.
Yeah, all right.
Let's get dressed.
All right, so let's take a brief recess. Well, 15 minutes actually, because we can't start early, so,
Do you want to approve the minutes from the last?
Oh, yes.
yeah, actually a good idea too. I've looked at them.
I move we accept the minutes with minor corrections.
Such as?
Oh, words like, we did receive letter instead of letters. There were just little things like that. Nothing.
Where are
No
they?
details.
Do you have your?
Do you have a marked
I
copy?
have mine. I don't
Do you
have
have a copy
all
for her to
yours.
fix it?
Well, no, no.
Just,
yeah.
why don't you just
it to
give her
Allison
for
Would you
the
give
Give
correct-
Allison your copy.
with the corrections?
I'll second the corrections and.
But Carol, what you're saying is the corrections that you're suggesting are all, let's say,
I
grammatical or
read mine,
typographical in nature, no
Yeah.
substantive ones, okay.
Nothing.
So Carol has a motion to approve with those corrections, second?
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good. All right, we'll see you back in about 13 minutes now. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a regularly scheduled meeting of the Penfield Zoning Board of Appeals. Tonight's meeting is going to take place in two parts. The first part will be our public hearings. We'll ask the applicant to come up to the podium and give us name and address, and then explain to the board why the relief requested should be granted. After the applicant is done with the presentation, board members will have some questions, most likely, and then we'll invite anyone in the audience that cares to come up and speak about the application to do the same thing. Come up to the podium and give us name and address, and then speak about the application. After the public hearings are adjourned, we will take a brief recess, and we will reconvene in the back of the room to discuss and deliberate on tonight's applications, and then to take care of any unfinished business that the board may have. Members of the public are certainly welcome at both the public hearings and the deliberations, although the deliberations generally are times reserved for conversations amongst board members with staff, and with council as needed. We have today now only two items on the agenda, so you're free to stay. I don't think it'll be a long night, but you never know. If you want to leave, you can certainly call tomorrow Allison or Harold, and they can let you know what action, if any, the board took on a particular item. Every month I'd like to say that the town, we think, does a very good job of informing neighbors about the agenda, which items are going to be heard, and the town does that many ways online. Does it by sending postcards to neighbors if you live within a certain distance of the application address, posting notices on bulletin boards, and television as well. Town does that so neighbors are more fully informed of their right to come in and speak about applications, and we think it works well, and we welcome the input. With that being said, I'd ask everyone to rise and join me in Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm not sure that there's anybody here for application number 2, but that has been at the request of the applicant moved to next month. So Harold, may we have the first application, please?
Application number 1, Michael Poh, 1133 State Road, Webster, New York, 14580, requests an area variance from Article 3-3-37-A of the code to allow a garage addition with less setback at 1133 State Road. The property is owned by Michael Poh and is zoned RR-1. This is application number SBL number 094.02-1-44.102. This is application number 15Z-0019.
Anybody here on this one?
Mike?
How you doing? I'm Michael Poh, 1133 State Road, Webster, New York, 14580.
Hi, Michael. Can you explain to the board why, what you're here for, what you're asking for, and why we should give it to you?
Basically, I'm here just to ask for some more space for, I'm into working on custom cars as a hobby. Kind of inherited the tradition from my father, and we just need more space. You know, I don't have enough room in the garage to store the classic cars and the daily driver cars. Just need more space.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Yes, I have a few.
All right.
You're seeking a 40-foot by 14 addition, right?
Correct.
And you said your dimensions are calculated to fit the storage of vehicles. Could you just be a little more specific? How many vehicles, where they're going?
Basically, it's going to house 2 vehicles, you know, kind of in line with each other. Like back one car in the back and then have another car in the front.
Okay. That doesn't take up 40 feet in length, does it?
Well, a vehicle, and I'm figuring like a truck. Like when I say I'd like to, I'm thinking about buying a new truck, so I want to leave myself enough space, you know, because new trucks are pretty long. Because we're thinking a camper or a boat, so I wanted to get a truck and be able to put that in there and not be, you know, cramped with, you know, the nice classic cars. You know, I don't want to be backing into anything. So I want to, you know how they say, if you're going to build it, build a little bigger. So.
Okay. And how much storage space do you have presently in the existing garage?
Right now, it's 28 by 36.
And how many vehicles are stored there?
Well, I have my 53 Chevy, and my dad's got a couple cars, and we have some equipment that we do work on cars. So with all that said, you know, it's just really tight, and don't have enough room for, you know, other projects that I'd like to get started, you know, future cars and stuff. So.
Is there anything else that's going to be stored in extension? Just
Nope.
strictly vehicles?
Just vehicles, yeah, or possibly, you know, we're talking about a boat, you know, maybe sticking that in there, depends. You know, it'll be, once you have the area, then you can kind of build from there. So, as of right now, you know, looking at getting a new truck, and I'd like to get, you know, like, I'd like to actually start a Model A hot rod project, but I just don't have the room to put anything right now, so, kind of cramped.
And there's going to be a back door to this?
No.
Extension, no?
One door, 9-foot door in the front, one way in, one way out.
Okay, I thought I had saw something on the drawing.
There'll be a door cut in to access the new addition from the existing garage, but nothing, just one 9-foot door in the front.
So externally, there's no rear exit?
No.
Okay. Are you going to add, or are you proposing to add any additional lighting to the exterior?
The exterior, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Nope. There's already, as far as the exterior and the front, I already have 2 lights on the garage, so it's well lit. There's no reason to put any lighting on the side of the building at all.
And is there going to be additional blacktop to service this?
Yes, in front, there will be just a little area where I need to just fill in that to get in and out of the garage of the new addition, which I already have a turnaround there anyway.
You're talking sort of over here?
Correct. Where the turnaround is?
Yes.
It'd be filled in right up to the garage. So it'll make it, one wide strip of blacktop.
Okay. You mentioned in your notes that the property's not suitable, the garage is not suitable to be built on anywhere else in the property due to water retention? What's that?
Yeah, in the back behind the garage, it just gets really wet there in the springtime. In fact, I even took some photos, if you would like to look at them. I just took some photos to give you a rough idea, because actually the corner of the garage that's to the back, hang on a minute here, got a lot of photos. Do you want me to bring them up to you and show you?
Sure. Absolutely, sure.
So basically, here's on the side, like the door that would be right there. This whole area here gets really wet in the
Okay.
Can you do me a
springtime.
favor? This is the only copy you have?
That's all I have.
Can you maybe put it up on the board, because I know that they're
Yeah.
trying to zoom in on you right now.
The camera
for
needs to
TV.
pick it up.
Yeah, and,
No, that's all
and they're
right.
trying to film
How
it.
about you, Mike? You gonna be able to pick it up if
I
we
don't
put
know,
it up there?
probably not, but I'm not as important as the TV camera.
Yeah, just use one of the clips up there, and then they'll have an
remains to be
easier job,
seen.
not saying the best job
I can look at it right
of getting into it, but
That's right, you can look at it here, huh?
So basically, in the back part behind the garage, in the springtime, it gets really wet, and you can see there's even like standing water there, especially in the springtime. So it's a real wet area there, and it gets so wet in the springtime that I actually have like water seeping down the center of the floor in the existing garage right now. It seeps down along there, so it would not be a wise idea to be thinking about putting anything in the back for water reasons. And then another reason is accessibility for doing what I'm looking to do, because, then you gotta go through the whole building to get to the back,
All right, but isn't 8 feet of the new extension of the garage gonna be in that back area?
No, that'll be over on the other side. Over on the other side, it's not really an issue. It won't be directly
I
behind.
got you.
It'll be, that area right there where I wanna put it is actually bone dry.
So you're talking between the house and the existing garage, that area?
That's a bad area. Plus, I have other photos. I have a sidewalk there. I mean, you wouldn't want to disrupt all that. We have a patio here with a sidewalk that goes to the back, and it's a tight area.
they're gonna try to zoom in on you, so take your time when you're flipping through them, so,
Yeah, put one up and then talk about it.
yeah.
Okay, so basically, the garage that is there right now is detached, and looking from the back of the house, there's a patio back here, and we have like parties and picnics and things, and we're actually looking at extending out the patio to make it larger. And we'd like to get like a patio set and things for cookouts and have family gatherings. So along with that, there's a sidewalk, flipping to the next picture. There's a sidewalk, a nice sidewalk that's over here, and a sidewalk that goes between the garage and the house. And, I want to keep it detached. I like that setup. It works out very well, for what's going on at the house. Whatever's going on in here is going on here. Whatever's going on in the house is going on there. We have an area here, and then behind it, well, you can't really see, I don't have that part of the picture, but behind it in that one area over on this side, directly behind the garage, is like a real wet area. On the other side, though, is not really an issue with the water. It's dry there, but for some reason, directly behind, and even when I had like the lawn rolled, like I just had it done, I have to wait in that one area. He's got to wait because he gets stuck every year. So it's really wet back there, only in the spring. It's not an issue. As the spring rolls on and we get into summer, it's not an issue. But that's one thing. And then here's a picture of the area well, and the utilities for the house come in here as well. And here's a picture of where I'm,
Hey, that was a good point that Dad brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, very good point. That's why it's here.
Yeah, get him an
That's
attaboy,
right.
all right.
I
So,
grew up in that house. I know where everything is.
so this is where I want to put the addition, you know, and you were asking me about the blacktop. You know, I want to basically continue. I have, this is the part of the turnaround. All we're going to do is just connect it and tie it all in as one, you know. It'll be accessible. It's dry over here. There's not an issue with the water. In fact, there's a stone pad there right now, and there's a trailer that I keep there. And theoretically, the addition is going to end right where that trailer is. You know, right at the edge where the trailer is. My neighbor, I already talked to him. He didn't have a problem with it. Talked to him about a year ago. So it just makes sense for it to go there. You know, it'll and when it's done, it's going to be sided. You know, it's going to look just like the garage. It's not going to be an eyesore.
That was
You
my
know,
next question.
it's going to be all
Same color
perfectly
materials?
finished.
Same color and material?
Same color material, architectural shingles. In fact, we're going to move the windows over into the new addition, and then I'm going to cut a doorway in, because you were asking me about doors. It's going to have a 9-foot door in the front. These windows are going to be moved over, and it's going to go beyond in the back, take a couple of the arborvitaes out, but it's only going 8 foot though. It's not going all the way back into, because it gets wet further back in this area too, but it's further down the line though. It's way, way further back. It's just this immediate area, water's not a problem.
Now, the trees to the left in that picture, are those on your property line, or?
These trees?
Yeah, there's like 5 trees in that area on the lot line, or near the lot line?
They don't show in the
No.
picture.
Basically, well, on the survey map, you want me to
I know,
show?
I just saw them when I looked
Yeah.
at the property.
Here.
Are they staying, or?
Yeah. Well, those are the neighbor's trees.
Okay,
Those
so they're on
trees
his
are like
property.
right over here. Those are on his property.
Okay.
And then the addition would be right there. The trailer in that picture right there is right there.
And what are you gonna do with that?
The trailer?
Yeah.
That's gonna probably just have to go in the back, way in the backyard. That's just a utility trailer is all that is.
I wanted to clarify, on the application itself, you said you quote, "I will need an extra 4 feet to complete the garage addition," but the map shows, it looks like that you're gonna need 2.6.
You're right. You know, I didn't realize it. When we typed that up, I must have forgot to fix that. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's okay, no, I just wanted to make sure you're,
Yeah, it ended up being less. Once I pulled out the survey map, I realized, holy cow, I only need 2.5 feet. I don't need 4. I thought I was gonna need 4. Because I just kind of guessed, I think, when we wrote that, when we typed up the questions. And then when I pulled out the survey map,
well, you were close.
I was close, because I know that property so well. The property is actually my grandparents' property. My father grew up there, so I know that property more or less like the back of my hand.
So
But-
2.6 would do it for the variance.
Yeah, whatever I have on.
Yeah, you got 21.4 now from the side of the garage to the lot line. You're going
Okay.
14 feet into that.
Yeah.
So that leaves 7.4, which is a 2.6 variance.
There you go. That's all I need. 40 foot long. That's all I'm looking for. To really make it make sense, you know what I mean, for what I'm looking to do.
Okay.
Mike, wait a minute. Are you saying 2 foot 6 inches or 2.6?
2.6.
Well, 0.6 is more than,
Well,
it's about 8 inches.
Yeah, but that's what this says.
Okay.
Right, yeah,
The map is in terms of.
So it's 0.6.
Yes,
that's
0.6.
the
All
way.
right, no problem.
If
I just
that's-
wanted to clarify.
The Aquinas classmates can read the map.
Well, did I write down 2.6 there? Or figure?
No,
you
you
write
wrote
that
too.
down
You were right.
7.4.
You wrote down 7.4, but that's what it
That's what the.
Equates.
I
Oh,
know,
yeah, that's what it
conversion
would
to
be like,
inches and
7.4,
tenths and
yeah.
twelfths is a little
Yeah,
much.
Yeah, I work in
wanted to make
decimals
sure
too.
what-
I'm actually a toolmaker by trade,
Okay.
but
I don't have any
Yeah.
other questions, so.
No,
Any other board, go ahead, Carol.
almost 2 foot 5/8 roughly. 6.6, 625, you know,
All
5/8.
right, 2.6.
You said that your father had a couple of cars in the garage. Does he live at that address?
No, he lives just down the street, but he brings his stuff over, you know,
You used to.
stores, leaves
He
stuff
used to.
there, you know how it is. Just leave it at Mike's house.
Now the shoe's on the other foot.
Do you have room at your house to put your own cars?
Oh, yeah, 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 I'm good. I'm okay. I could use a little bit more room, but,
What she's asking you is why do you, you're building.
She
that
uses
space
my
to store
tools,
his
I've got all
cars.
the equipment.
But what,
I don't store over there. I go
works out
over and use the garage once in a while. But I'm covered for storage. I'm okay. I'm not, he's got his thing going on over there, so that's why he needs it for his own stuff, but I'm good.
Yeah, well, he said he had a car, and then he said, my dad has a couple of cars.
Yeah, he brings them over, he does what he has to do with them, and then he brings them home. But he uses my equipment, he doesn't have the tools and equipment like I do.
And sometimes the ambition.
It's having the room though, for, when he brings something over, I gotta move all the stuff out in the driveway
Yeah.
to rearrange, to have him bring something over, but with the addition, the stuff will just be off to the side, I won't even have to monkey with it.
Yeah, and then how soon are you leaving
Yeah.
when I'm done?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I just got one question about the trailer. You said you'd store it in the back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the problem is, how do you get it out of the back? You don't have enough room between your new garage and your neighbor without going on your neighbor's property, or can you do it on the other side of your?
All on the far side.
Okay.
I use my lawnmower, actually, to be
Okay.
honest with you. I don't drive through the yard with the car.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
with the
they'll.
vehicle.
you
I have a
know,
little receiver on my
they'll be
mower.
screaming, right, if you
Yeah.
start driving it over their property, so.
Oh, no, I don't. I actually have on the other side of my property, I have plenty of room, and there's an arborvitae row, and I'm gonna keep it over there.
Okay.
It's been there before, but I just happen to have it. In this particular picture, I happen to have it there.
Okay,
But-
no problem.
anyone in the audience care to speak about this application? No, okay. Thanks, folks.
Application number 3, Robert Keiffer, T.Y. Lynn International, 255 East Avenue, Rochester, New York, 14604, on behalf of the India Community Center of Rochester, requests an expansion for an existing conditional use permit under Article 3-3-36-A and Article 10-10-4 of the code to allow a storage building addition at 2171 Monroe County Line Road. The property is owned by the Indian Community Center of Rochester Incorporated and is zone RA-2. This is SBL number 141.02-1-5.1. This is application number 15Z-0018.
Good evening. Robert Keiffer, professional engineer with offices at 255 East Avenue in the city of Rochester. I'm joined this evening by representatives of the India Community Center, their board of direction. Back in March of 2002, the town granted a conditional use permit to allow the construction of summer camps and a bathhouse and facilities associated with a summer program. We'd like to say that that program has turned out to be very successful. It's nationally recognized. They have two-week programs during the summer. It's well attended and is always at capacity. As a result, the activity on the site sometimes results in a need for additional storage, and as most people will attest to, everybody would probably like a little bit more storage wherever they are. And we're proposing to add a 16-foot-8 by 28-foot-6 addition to the back, which would be the east side of the principal structure at the top of the hill that would be used for storage, exclusively for storage. It would be located such that there would be a door into the space from the driveway. This is the circular driveway that comes along the east side of the site. There'd be 2 man doors here, so material could be loaded into this area. There would be a stairway out of here into this building, which allows you to get into the principal structure. The style of construction will be identical to what is there. Architectural shingles, vinyl siding, a new window. The pitch of the roof will match. It'll look very much like the existing building. To be able to do this, we have to have a modification to the previously issued conditional use permit, which is why we're here this evening. I went through a discussion of the conditions of the use permit warrants. I'd be happy to go through any and all of these one by one, but the fact of the matter is that the proposed addition does not change the intensity of the use on the project at all. Inside the main building here is their a gathering area. They do performances there. They do dinners there. There's chairs to be moved and tables and theatrical props and so forth. There's always seems to be a shortage of places to put this stuff. Dry goods to be stored during the camping program. This is simply going to be an addition that it makes it more efficient to run the rest of the operation. There's no sight distance issues. There's no work within the right-of-way. This will generate no noise, no odor. It's a fairly inert shell of a building that will be used for storage.
Questions from the board?
I just got a couple. It was a really thorough application, so I thank you for that. The design was made so it actually, the whole entire addition is actually lower than the existing building, so it wouldn't stick out really any farther from visibility from anywhere else, really, would it?
I believe that this addition will not be visible from any of the adjoining properties.
Okay.
This is a wooded area. This is significantly uphill. It's uphill in this direction. The distances to the next houses in this direction, I don't think anybody's going to be able to see this structure. And you're absolutely right. We're continuing the pitch. And in order to have 6 foot clear or 6'8" clear at the door, the floor of the addition is going to be a few feet lower than the floor of the building to which it's being attached.
One of the things that I think we received is a couple notes about hours of operation might be for parties and things like that will be coming earlier in the night. They'll be ending because of noise, because as you guys have grown and gotten more popular, I guess there might have been some events that got a little out of hand or late.
Murphy's Law, the 28th of March, shortly after we made this application, a neighbor in the vicinity called 911 due to a loud noise. The event that was occurring that evening was a private party, not an event that was being sponsored by the ICC. They sponsor or they allow people to rent the facility for a 50th anniversary or a wedding reception about 3 or 4 times a year. This was a private party. The music was too loud. The sheriff's office came. They agreed to turn the music down. Unfortunately, maybe some of the people there were beyond the area where they make good decisions, and shortly after the police officer left, they turned the music back up. The police officer returned and they shut the party down. When this was brought to the attention of the India Community Center, they were appalled, I think is a fair statement. The administration passed a resolution that there would be restriction on the number of hours, and that if there was going to be music at any of these functions that were not sponsored by the ICC, they were going to be required to hire an ICC sound person to manage the music and to be sure that the doors are closed. And I provided you a copy of that resolution, and I believe that this will resolve that issue. And I've been involved with the community center now for a number of years, and I sincerely believe that they're trying to be good neighbors.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Any other questions from the board? Anyone in the audience? Okay, thank you, Mr. Keiffer.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. As we said earlier, the second application tonight was put off at the request of the applicant till next month, so the public hearings are adjourned. We'll take a brief recess and reconvene in the back of the room. Thank you all very much. Yay. So, number 1.
Mike's.
I move that this is a type 2 action, and negative declaration be issued, no environmental impacts.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, on the matter itself, I'm going to move that we approve this. I don't think there's an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. Allowing this, there's a significant amount of space between the existing garage and the neighboring property, and I think that the impact will be minimal. So for that reason, I would move to approve.
Second.
Only thing I would add is I think that the applicant did a good job, and you did a good job as well, Mike, of demonstrating that really wasn't feasible to build it anywhere else around. There's plenty of space, but it just, without a lot of grading work, wasn't very feasible. Okay, so we have a motion to approve in a second. Any further comment? All those in favor? Aye. Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Nice presentation.
We appreciate it.
Yep, number 3.
the motion to grant negative declaration for unlisted action, no impacts identified.
Second.
Okay, motion to neg deck, and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the merits?
It's really the identical application that it was back in, I think, what, 2011? There's no difference. He covered all his points in terms of, the sight line, nothing's going to be no more noise. It's really just a storage room to store chairs and additional things for their events. The only issue that we heard that was the noise concern as they were growing, and that seems to be addressed now that they've taken care of the noise problems for cutting down events to an earlier time, plus having one of the representatives available. So in terms of growing out and getting louder or making more noise from a larger sites, doesn't seem to be an issue. So I'm going to make a motion to grant their conditional use expansion.
Second.
And we're gonna have a condition that they abide by their
By their noise ordinance?
resolution, whatever that they passed as well.
I like that.
Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, so, given that condition, we have a motion to approve and a second. Any further comment? All those in favor? Aye. Okay, good luck, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And the tabled application, did we vote on that earlier?
No, we didn't.
Well,
But I think it's still tabled.
last month, the,
Continued table without further, until further
Until
notice,
further
is what
notice,
it says here.
right.
Okay. All right, so we don't have to do anything there.
Do we need to officially do anything with number 2, adjourn it or anything, or not?
No, number 2 has
Just
been
kind of ignored.
adjourned at
Pushed
the,
off at the request of the applicant.
pushed off.
I didn't know if we had to vote on that.
Very technical.
Yeah, right.
Anything else we need to talk about?
Nope.
How many next month?
Well, now there's 4, right? Is Lancer Place still on the table?
No.
Okay, so there's 3. There's Elderwood, the assisted living, or is it Heathwood?
It was formerly Elderwood, is now Heathwood at the corner of
Yeah,
Route
250
and Pembroke Drive.
What do they want to do?
We're proposing an addition.
Oh,
Wow.
and then the yoga preschool.
And there's a yoga preschool on Creek Street.
On Creek Street, conditional use
Creek
permit.
Street is very busy. So we just have
The
2?
adjacent part, no.
3, because the one from tonight
Yeah.
gets next month, yeah, so 3.
And when's the deadline? Tomorrow, next week? Okay.
Oh, wait, the Smile Center. That came out today.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Sadden, remember we
So there's 4.
just,
Okay, well, that's all right.
No.
Okay, so nothing further. All right, then we will adjourn and see you guys next month. Well done.
okay.